This is Oscar Frazier, Chief Technologist of nDemand Consulting Services. Today, we'll be focused in on our RPA or Robotic Process Automation division. If you're anything like me, the pandemic and some of the other things that have been occurring over the last about year, almost year and a half, has really taught us a whole lot about how to become safer, do things smarter in a more efficient way. One of the things that we want to talk about today is our intelligent document processing solution. Before I get into that, let me kind of give you a story of kind of what led us here. This was probably about 6 months ago. I was going for my normal annual checkup over at the doctor's office. I walk in and I'm looking around the room, and there's probably roughly 15 to 20 people inside the other clinic. Everyone in there had a pen and paper, and they were writing down all of their form information that was required for the office or for the clinic to be able to process that, if you will, and put it into their electronic health record system. And I'm looking around, I'm like, well, how many people potentially had this pen and this paper in their hand prior to that actually happening? That's what led us to start talking about, we need to figure out a solution for how to better improve. We need to find a solution to better improve the way in which hospitals, clinics, dentist office, etc., are handling forms. Now let's also look at this on the other side of the fence, which is on the logistics side of the house. This was probably about a year or so ago. One of our older clients that we were working with was in the trucking and logistics division. And we were building training and building out solutions for him to make things a little bit more seamless and the process more of an end-to-end sort of experience for both the suppliers and the actual carriers. Well, here's what happened. We learned about how many documents get passed and forth within the logistics and trucking divisions. The bill of lading, the scanned documents. One person's got a hard copy document here. They're having to scan it in and they're having to send it over to someone else. And it really just usually becomes a logistical nightmare, even though they're actually in the logistics division. So that was the second sign, if you will, for us to really start focusing in on how do we automate documentation, the exchange, if you will, from writing something on a piece of paper to getting it into a system and ultimately improving the enterprise resource planning, that is ERP, and or electronic health record system, i.e. EHR. So with that being said, I wanted to introduce you all to a solution that we have developed, and we are working with a group called nDemand's. So we know that there's a ton of different, automation tools you can use. There's UiPath, and there's a number of other ones out there for you to get your hands on. This one in particular was best for us because it meant something to our clients, and it means cost savings. We were able to get a very specific kind of boilerplate down to the what is needed for a customer to be able to get the job done. So that eliminates a lot of the cost. I cannot wait to talk to you all a little bit more about cost and how we would get started and how we actually give a free trial, if you will, as well in the very beginning to make sure that you see the value and what it is that we're offering. So why don't we do this? Why don't we jump right in? If you guys can't tell, I'm a bit more on the informal side. It's really about walking you all through the solution and a little bit less about making it look pretty, if you will. So let's go ahead and dive in. I'm going to share my screen, and I want to walk you all through exactly how this would actually operate in the actual scenario. Hold on one second. Let's see. Okay. So now my screen should be being shared. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play this video. I actually created this demo prior just to make sure that everyone can kind of see the value and see exactly what it is that our solution does. Now, what's important before we get into this is that this is going to be walking you through the admin panel aspects of the system. This is normally where I, as a chief technologist, will be working directly with you and building this for you. But we want you to have full disclosure and see exactly how things are built, why they're built, and how we would actually be getting this done for you and your organization. All right. So I'll probably pause throughout and make sure that I kind of clarify anything that's necessary, and then we'll continue to move forward from there. All right.
This demo shows 3 important components of this IDP tool: the input processing files, output, or file extraction, and scheduling export of these files. The I/O location in the menu takes you to the I/O location screen, where you can add or edit an input source. The input source has 4 different fields. Name of the input source, type of document, that helps in categorization, subtype and file type. The multiple document supported toggle switch allows to manage a file that has multiple documents stacked and need to be split into separate.
Let me kind of help to qualify that just a little bit. What this does, let's say, for example, your company is using, let's say, hard copy documentation right now, i.e. a form or something that your customers are filling out. When that gets scanned in, we could do one of 2 things. We could either create forms for you that are now digitized, which would eliminate the need for your customers to have to handwrite things, or we can just go right into your existing process. And once things are scanned in, our system can pick it up and begin to do the automations of reading what's on the document and filing it within your EHR or your ERP systems. So I wanted to make sure we clarify that. So when you see here over on the left-hand side, we have different file types. So it could be a PDF, a JPEG, PNG, TIFF, BMP, and then also a zip file. And our robots will be able to get into that system and actually execute the work that's needed. Okay, let's keep on listening.
Documents status button ensures that the input source is active. The input type and parameters window allows to define the input source type, such as shared folder, and its properties. These include source folder, where the files are placed when they come in the system, the processed folder, where the files are transferred when the processing starts, the exception folder, where the documents are moved only in case of exceptions.
Okay, so here what's happening is wherever you currently are housing your documents, your scanned documents, etc., we can actually go there. We don't have to have you do anything new or unique to your existing process. The only thing that we're going to be concerned about and focused on is automating it for you. So here, let's say, for example, if you all do have a source or a shared folder that you all maybe you have out on Dropbox, or you may have it on Google shared drives, etc. This would be the opportunity for us to just go right into where you already have your actual shared folder, and we do the rest from there. We begin the robot automations from there. Okay.
The window has other configurable fields, such as number of parallel tasks, task sleep time, connection retry count, maximum connection attempts, and repeat after period. The Start Connecting option shows whether the actual connection to your input source is successful. Datamatics TrueCap Plus allows many input source types. These include G Drive or Google Drive. It gives you fields such as auth key, source folder, processed folder, exception folder, and other tasks as earlier. Similarly, it gives you other options such as REST API. It also has source folder, processed folder, and exception folder.
One of the things that we didn't mention here that you probably saw in the drop down just a moment ago is we also can tap into the email as well. A lot of companies still right now, when they get an invoice or when they get a new form or a scanned document in, it comes in via email. We can actually pick it up right from the email and begin doing our automations from there.
The rest of the configurable items remain the same. Datamatics TrueCap Plus has a host of other input source types to choose, thus allowing a flexible input. The output location also has similar options to output the file. It allows you to tie your output to a particular type and subtype. As you see here, the output is tied to the same type and subtype as the input. Here, in the output, the type is selected as shared folder. The method of export field allows options such as bulk, batch, and document.
Right here for the method, when it comes to the output, let's say, for example, you want it to go directly back into a shared folder. If you want it to be uploaded via an API switch or connector, or if you just simply want it to be something that gets stored, we can do that. When it comes to the method of export, here is where we can actually do a bulk, meaning let's say you don't want everything to be uploaded one by one. You want it to be done, let's say, at the end of the day, or you want it to be done every hour. What we can do then is send it a bulk upload into your output space. So whether that's, again, whether it's an email, whether it's a shared folder, etc., we would be able to get that executed for you. If it's something where it's more time sensitive, you need it to be by document. Every time we scan, or we actually do the automation of reading and interpreting and then uploading that information into your EHR and or ERP, then we can actually do that one by one for you as well.
The destination folder is the place where the output files will be stored. The file format allows output files such as JSON, CSV, and XML. The row delimiter and column delimiter allows to separate out the rows and the columns. The concept of transformations allows to selectively choose a particular format for the current document being processed without applying the default or changing the default for the entire application. For example, for invoice date, you can choose DDIMM YYYY. The scheduler export feature allows you to export the files using the earlier mentioned output. The user interface is quite similar to Microsoft Outlook.
I absolutely love this part of our solution. Based upon what you need for your company, if you tell us you want this bot to go out and do something every minute, every second, every hour, every day, every 2 days, whatever those things may be, we schedule that for you. So now when you are coming into the office, or you're going home, and you've got a batch job, or you got an automation that's going to be taking place, you can rest assured that it's going to be being executed because we place it on this calendar. Again, just like how we would do in Microsoft Outlook. So if it's a recurrence, what happens daily, we can set that inside of this system and ensure that your automations are occurring as frequently or as infrequently as you need for them to be.
It allows to select the type and subtype. In Add Schedule, user can select the same type and subtype. It can be linked to the output. It allows to select start date and start time. It allows to select recurrence, that is, after how many minutes you want to repeat the task. It also allows to select the number of occurrences, quite similar to Microsoft Outlook.
Okay, so hopefully this one made sense. On our next one that we're going to be doing, the next demo, part 2, is going to be drilling a little bit further into what the operations manager and or the office manager, if we're talking about logistics, if it's a, it could be a number of different things, a logistics manager, et cetera. You'll be able to kind of see how your batch jobs are doing, how the automations are operating, if there's any errors, where those errors have occurred, et cetera. So tune in for the next one. Cannot wait to show you. In the meantime, if you'd like to get a personalized demo, by all means, please give us a shout. Here at the bottom of the screen, you should be able to see our website. You can go out to our subdomain, which is rpa.ndemandconsulting.com, and then just click on book a demo. And what that'll do is that'll get you direct time with me, and we'll sit down, go through your requirements, and understand exactly what it is that you need, so we can then build something like this for your organization. Okay? Can't wait to talk to you guys soon. Yeah.